All right, we're here with our period 6 Algebra 2 class, getting ready for 1.4, simplifying algebraic expressions. Yes, we're back. Let's do this. So, when you see the word evaluate, when you see the word evaluate, what do you think the answer is going to be when you see the word evaluate?
0.
Not 0. Somebody said it. A number. All right? We're looking for a real number. So, Nathan, it might not be a whole number, right? It could be. But it could also be a negative number, which makes it integer. It could be a decimal. It could be a square root. So, real numbers. We're looking for a number. No more letters. All right? So, look at the first one. 2x minus xy plus 4y. And we're going to use x is 5 and y is 2. So, that means I'm going to replace that x with 5. So it'll be 2 times 5. Anytime you substitute a number for a letter, it better be surrounded by what? Parentheses. So make sure you write that down in parentheses. Why is that? Heard Daniel say, why is that, right? Why is that? Why? Because if you don't put parentheses, it just looks like 25. And it'll confuse you. And how is that 2? Luis, I'm back at you, man. How is that 2 connected to this x?
Because it's like there's nothing there.
So it's multiplying. And that's how we show multiplication. All right? Camilla, when you're ready, homework here, okay? Thank you. Minus x times y, which is going to be 5. Thank you. Nice job. Times 2. Plus 4 times 2. I'm going to pause here to make sure we're all good. Pause here. Bless you. Now we have 3 instances of multiplication. We have 2 times 5. 2 times 5, which is 10. Minus 5 times 2, also 10. Commutative property, what up? Plus 8. Now be careful here. We talked about this earlier in the week. This is subtraction and addition. All right, what should we do first? Left to right, because when you have subtraction and addition only, you go left to right. Okay? Even though A comes before S and PEMDAS, we're going left to right. Right? It's not the same answer, so you got to go left to right. So what's 10 minus 10?
0.
Plus 8. 8. So 8 is our real number answer. 8 is our real number answer. Questions on the first one?
No.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. No, Victoria. H. Hit me up. What do you got? Great. 10 minus 10 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. It's a safe place, okay? Always ask questions. Yes, Nathan. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? He says, why does it matter? Here's why it matters. 10 plus 8 is what? 18. 10 minus 18 is negative 8. And I don't know about you, man, but in my bank account, if they put money in as opposed to money out, I like that more, okay? That's different, okay? Number two, q squared plus 4qr minus r squared. Sorry, I'm so boring, Daniel. So we have q squared, 7 squared, plus 4 times 7 times 3 minus 3 squared. Make sure you see why those numbers are there. Okay? All right, Daniel's already started to do it. 7 squared is 49 plus, 4 times 7 times 3. Yes, Ariana?
Do we multiply first, or do we? Yeah. We're going to multiply either way.
We're going to multiply either way. Are you asking which ones to do first? Are you asking which ones? Does it matter? See how it's all multiplication? Does the order matter? No. What property is that? What is it? No. What property says that the order doesn't matter when you multiply? Commutative. Very good, Luis. Commutative. All right. So what does your brain want to do first, Ariana? 4 times 7 is? 28. And then 28 times 3?
Yes.
84 is right, Luis. Wow. Excellent. You want to know what my brain does? You don't. If you don't want to, that's fine. It's okay.
What is your brain?
My brain does 4 times 3 is 12. Then 12 times 7, I do 10 times 7 is 70. 2 times 4 is 8. Add them together and you get 84. Okay? Minus. What's 3 squared? 9. All right? So now I have 49 plus 84 minus 9. Hold on. We got to go which way, Camilla? We got to go left to right. It's 133. It's not. I'm just saying it might seem easier, but we already showed you with this one, the order matters. Okay? I got you. Try this, Camilla. Make this a 50. What's 50 plus 84? 134. Then take one away to get to the answer 133 because you went up one. All right? So you can always do those kind of tricks to help you out. All right? Let me do my trick again. Do you remember the one I did about 4 times 3 times 7? All right? Let me just do this trick again so you can see what I'm talking about. So you have 12 times 7, right? So what my brain does is I do 10 times 7, which is 70. Okay? And there's 2 left over, right? So that's 2 times 7, which is 14. And when you put them together, you get 84. Okay? It's supposed to be 84. I'm trying to show you how you can use your brain and tricks to do this without a calculator. All right? No. What's 133 minus 9? Yes, Dominic. Okay, to wait till I'm done with the recording and then yes. All right. Thank you, Dominic. No, we're not going to put ice in. We're not going to do that. Number 3. Let's do number 3. X squared y minus xy squared plus 3y. And it says x is 2 and y is 5. So I'm going to have 2 squared times 5 minus 2 times 5 squared plus 3 times 5. Let's make sure the first step of the process is to get the numbers in the right spots. Let's talk about it. Everybody good so far? Yes, Camilla.
So I understand in the first part where 2 is parentheses 2 parentheses
Square, yeah.
I get that. Yes, but like the last one.
The last one?
Yeah, it's like
This one?
Yeah.
So the middle one.
Yeah.
I think I know what your brain's saying. This is really good because your brain might not be paying attention to your question, but it might come up later on, not today or maybe future. Okay, so look, xy squared, only the y is being squared. If this had said minus xy squared, then it would be in the parentheses 2 times 5, all of that squared. All right, but only the y is being squared here, so that's why it's only the 5. I think that's what your brain is asking, right?
So the square is in the parentheses.
No, the square will never be in the parentheses, no matter what. Great question, Camilla. Awesome question. All right, let's do the next one. 2 squared. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus, okay, be careful.
20.
5 squared. 25 times 2 is 50. I get a lot of students that do 2 times 5, which is 10, and then they square it and get 100. But that's why we had to make sure the parentheses were correct. 5 squared first. The reason we can't do 2 times 5 is because it's not like this. If it was like this in the problem, Sergio, then I would do 2 times 5 first and then square it, because everything is being squared.
45.
Yeah, I do the number that's squared first before I multiply. Think of PEMDAS. Hold on. Think of PEMDAS exponents before multiplication. Victoria H. Hold on. Listen to Victoria's question. Listen to Victoria's question. Uh-huh.
You put them in the parentheses together.
But are they together? I didn't put them together. Because it's not written like this. They're not actually together. I know they're together, but the square isn't on both of them.
Also, like, we're going to
It's like you go out with your significant other, but your significant other is the only one wearing a hat. They're the only one that has the hat. You don't, even though you're together. Okay? So like this person has the hat. You're going on a date with that person, but they're not actually both wearing the hat.
So like if they both have
If they both have it like this, now they both are wearing hats. They're both wearing the hat. And they're going on the date together.
what can they be wearing questions?
It was my shoe. Don't worry. We're good. I'm not that old yet. All right. Plus, Daniel, question?
I was like, what if they're wearing gloves?
See, we've gone too far, right? We've gone too far. We've lost it. You just derailed the train. 3 times 5. 15. Left to right. Is there a question, Camilla? I think I heard. Okay. Left to right. 20 minus 50 is negative 30. It's not. They're opposite signs. Hold on. They're opposite signs. Listen, this is important for everyone because we're not using calculators. They're opposite signs, so you subtract them and get 15, and you take the sign of the bigger one, so it'll be negative 15. Okay, let's go with Marina. Okay, sorry, my bad. Questions on 3?
No.
That was a really good one, right? You're going to have plenty more of those to try soon, I promise. It'll be great. This? So negative 30 and 15 are different signs. So when you put them together, you actually subtract them, even though it says addition, you subtract them to get 30 minus 15 is 15. The 30 is bigger than 15, so you take that guy's sign. Who knows? All right. Pretty good? Let's do one more evaluate. This one here with the a squared. So I think it's going to help the people with the squared questions. All right. It says the opposite of a squared times a squared plus 2a minus 1. So watch this. It'll be a little tricky here. The opposite of a squared is the opposite of 2 squared. The opposite of 2 squared times 2 squared plus 2 times 2 minus 1. Close it. Okay, so take a second, digest it, and let me know what you're thinking. I said the opposite because I know it's a negative symbol, but I want you to think you're going to do 2 squared first, Sergio, and then it's the opposite of that. Because the negative is not with that a. Again, with that idea of like you're together, but you're not. I know, but it's not like this. It's not negative a squared. All right, that's what would make it together. You good? Which one? It is, but it's going to multiply after you do the exponent. And then it's going to multiply by all that. You're right. It is. Well, we're getting ahead again. Love it, Camille. 2 squared is 4, and the opposite of 4 is negative 4. And yes, it's still going to multiply by whatever I get here. What's 2 squared? 4 plus, no, that's another 4, right? 2 times 2 is another 4, minus 1. All right, so let's go down here. So we have negative 4 times, what's 4 plus 4? 8 minus 1 is 7, so we get negative 20. Fernando and Nathan, you guys got questions? Okay, let me know if you got questions. I'm here to help. Yeah, Dominic. I mean, you don't have to. It's just at that point, I know, Dominic, that this is going to end up multiplying by the next thing. If you were to have written it like this, that's totally fine, Dominic. That's still negative 4 times 7. Bless you. Okay. I want to move on from evaluating and move into simplifying. Do you see number 3? Number 3 says simplify. Does anybody know what I'm looking for when we simplify? Say it again. I'm not looking for one number. That's evaluate, Camilla. I think you're right on the other one. You're looking for terms which usually have variables. All right. So in this case, does it say to plug in numbers for x and y in number 3? It doesn't. So at the end, we're going to have probably x and y, and that's it. We're finished. Okay? So simplify and evaluate are different. They need to be different in your brain. All right? Let's distribute the negative 2. What's negative 2 times 2x? Negative 4x. What's negative 2 times y? Very good. Don't forget to distribute to both. And then this is actually a negative 1, right? Even though there's no 1 there. So what's negative 1 times each of these terms? They just become the opposite sign. They are positive, Luis. They are positive. They are positive. They're going to become opposite. You got to switch the signs. Okay, I'm going to pause here. Ask questions if you don't know how we got these things. Which one? So do you see the negative sign? This is saying negative 1, Nathan, times each of these. And when you multiply something times a negative 1, it just changes the sign. So they're both positive in here, so that's why they're both negative. Let's go with Ariana and then Camilla.
If you combine like terms.
Let's go with Camilla next. Okay, well, I mean, that's not a question. Are you good on how we got here? That's all I want to know right now. We're going to get the answer. We're going to get the answer. Why don't we just do it together? You're going to get a chance to do a ton of them on your own. Okay? So at this point, we are going to combine like terms. All right? I see negative 4x and negative 7x are like terms. So I'm going to write x. And how do I find out what number goes in front? You add the, not the variables, this is the variable. You add these numbers in front. What are those numbers in front called? The variables are the letters. Really? We're going to play that game, Dominic? Come on now. They're called coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front. Coefficients. So what's a negative 4 and a negative 7? I heard you say 11. Be careful on that. They're the same sign, so you keep the sign. So it's negative 11. When they're the same sign, you add them and keep the sign. So negative plus a negative is still a negative.
Wait, so sign only changes for like multiplication?
Well, you're talking about different operation, right? Am I doing any multiplication up here, Luis? No, I'm not. Okay? If it had said negative 4 times negative 7, that would be a different thing, right? That's negative times a negative, which is a positive. That's not what we're doing. Okay. What about another good chance to try here? Negative 2y and negative 2y. Negative 4y. Notice how that's not just one real number. So that's how it looks when you simplify. We're going to do one more together. Then you're going to move to your spots. And you're going to get 15 minutes to work on them. That is it. Cool. Good for you, man. No, we're going to do this together. Sorry, come on. All right, ready? Okay, let's do, not this one. Let's do number 3. Do you want to see number 3? Let's do that one. Number 3. So, do you see the negative 3 here? I'm going to distribute not just the 3, but also the negative 3. All right? The negative with it. Not just the 3, a negative 3. Bring the negative with it.
The x, we're just doing it to the x.
Actually, all 3 of them, right?
No, like where it says x, y, when they're together.
Well, it's going to be times x, y, but because it's not like you're multiplying x times x, we're going to change the exponent. It's going to just be 3xy. Okay? I think that's what you're asking. So, minus 6x.
And then it's going to be like 2 plus 3x.
It's going to be here you go, Luis. This is plus 3xy. So we're multiplying negative 3 times each of these terms in here. Okay, and negative 3 times 3y is negative 9y. And then bring down the minus 11xy. Now we're going to combine like terms. But we only see 2 like terms here. There's only 2. The 3xy and the negative 11xy. Now they have opposite signs. One's a positive, one's a negative. So we're going to subtract them. What's 11 minus 3? 8. So I know it's going to be 8xy. But which one's bigger, 11 or 3? 11. So it's actually going to be negative 8xy. Now watch what I write next. Minus 6x minus 9y. Why did I put those before the 7? 7 doesn't have a variable. Do you know what a 7 is called? That 7 is called what? When it doesn't have, it's not a coefficient, when it doesn't have a variable.
A whole number. Non-coefficient.
We're 0 for 2, guys. 0 for 2. It's called a constant. Constant. If you knew it, you would have said it. Okay, questions on this? Is that going to be your, like Daniel's question for the whole year, man? I mean, I circled it. Any questions? Don't you dare ask me. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to do 8 out of 10 of these, all right? But you have to do 4 of each, all right? So you can't do like 5 and 3 or 5 and 3. You got to do 4 and 4. So pick 4 on each column. This column you're evaluating. This column you're simplifying. Yes.